hi everyone, want to get ready with me? So I thought I would film a quick get ready with me because I just need to chat with my friends on here and rant while I'm getting ready. I do have my eyebrows and my forehead done, so I thought we would do my eyes and the rest of my face. So if you're new to my channel, I just want to introduce myself real fast so we can get right into the get ready with me. My name is Charlie. I love doing lifestyle videos, whether that's home decor, plus size fashion, which I need to get back into. I haven't filmed fashion content in so long. I just haven't been clothes shopping at all this year. It's just been, even though it's only March, it just feels like the days are just going by so quickly that I don't even have 5 seconds to think. But those are the types of videos, just my lifestyle, what I'm doing, sometimes vlogs. So let's get right into it. So if you're new, I am blind as a bat. I can't see anything, and please forgive the background. It's just been, we'll get into it. It's been a month. I'm using the Carly Bible palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's no longer available, which makes me like violently sad because the shade Chai in here, which would be this one, is literally, oh, I hope you can see, I can't see to see if I'm in focus ever, you guys, is probably the best transitional shade ever. And it's one of the few shades that I notice I don't have like a bad reaction to as far as my eyes watering. So boy, this month has been like nuts. So we have finally are done with basketball season. Now I want to preface this by saying this. My sister has worked in retail for a long time. I got to get closer to the mirror and I'm hoping you can see me. I wish I was able to film like directly in front of me like most beauty gurus do, and you would be able to see better, but I have to do kind of like a cider view because I just can't see and I've never worn contacts in my life. So I just want to say this. I usually take stuff right on the chin with retail workers because my sister's worked so long in retail. I think she's been in there. She's literally been in retail since she was 17. So I usually I'm not like what you guys call Karens. I don't like to tattle on people because I know that retail work is literally the devil's work. It's so hard. It's so especially in the summer seasons when you live in a touristy area like we do, you get some really awful people. And I'm not saying that to be like the customer's always right bullshit, because they're usually 90% wrong and they're evil to these poor retail workers. Now where we live, we get people from everywhere. Canada, we get Polish people, we get Russian people, we get Yugoslavian, we get them all from Europe where they come over. They used to come over on work visas, but after COVID they didn't, because we live in like such a resorty, touristy area. We get people that come down from Philly, New York, Staten Island, all over the place. So we have a big melting pot of people that come to New Jersey to go shopping, especially at we have a super store, which is a TJ Maxx home goods hybrid. It's one of the biggest stores in America. Like, we have one of the best stores. I know there's only a few that are like the combination hybrids, and ours is one of the better stores in the country. And my sister worked there for a long time. She doesn't work there anymore, so I can say that. And it's in Cape May Courthouse, New Jersey, and people come from everywhere. Like, they travel all over to come to this particular store because it's just so good. And I never realized that because I've always had the store available to me. When I tell you in the summertime, don't even think about getting into the store. It's ridiculous. So all that to say, I usually take shit on the chin. If someone's kind of rude to me in retail, I usually just chuck it up that they're having a bad day. Unless they're abusive, you know what I mean? Like, if they would mother F me, then of course I would say something. But like, I usually just, I would never report somebody. None of that bullshit. I try really hard. Fast food workers. And I mean, I know it's like, I'm going to go into my new palette, which is the ABH Rose Metals, and I'm just going to go into Sun Rose, which is just this like light brown. I'm just doing something kind of simple and easy. So what was I saying? basically I just try to be understanding, whatever. However, this dress shopping, oh my God, it is, we have two of the same dresses. To preface what I'm going to tell you, like I said, I try to be very, very, very understanding and kind, but it almost feels like we're living in a world where people just are for a quick dollar and don't give a rat's ass about anything else. So now I have two of the same dresses. So let's get into it. And I'm like, that's why I haven't been filming at all, because I'm just like heartbroken over the whole thing and upset. So we went to a couple local dress shops by me in the Deptford area. The Deptford area is so big, or like Gloucester County, Gloucester area. It's just so big you could never pinpoint. Like, I feel safe saying that that's where we are. We went to the Deptford Mall. We went everywhere you can think of. We went to David's Bridal, everywhere. We just couldn't find the dress she was looking for, and I wasn't willing to pay $700 for a dress, which in hindsight, I wish I would have just paid the extra money for the damn dress, because I ended up spending almost $1,000. And I know, like, I have to take a step back and just breathe, because I am so grateful that I could afford to even fix the problem. And I got to keep that in the back of my head, that there's people that can't even afford to buy their children homecoming or prom dresses. And I know I'm very lucky, but I just need to dump this on somebody, because I'm just so heartbroken about everything that went on to get this dress. So let's go back a little bit. So we went to a couple boutiques. The girls were fantastic. We went to Coco Chateau, which is a little up the road from me. And the girl's name was Brooke. So she had the same name as my daughter. I should have stuck with her. We went in, we tried on a couple dresses. Nothing rang true to my daughter, and the girl didn't push anything on us. She didn't make me feel like she was trying to just make a commission, because most of these girls and guys who do it, they do make a commission. So she never made me feel like she was pushing any dresses on me. She said, listen, we have a trunk show Saturday where we're gonna have a bunch of dresses in, and then we get dresses weekly. She's like, this is the day we typically get dresses. Just make appointments and come in. You don't get charged for the appointment as long as you show up. You put a deposit down, but they don't charge it. They just put your credit card on file. And as long as you show up, they don't charge you for the $50 fee. Fine. You get a 30 or, I don't know what that bang was. That scared me. You either get a 30 or a 45-minute consultation, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's not bad. We didn't find anything. The girl didn't. I know. I heard that too. Just lay back down. The girl never pushed, it's probably the neighbor Butters, didn't push a dress on us, and she told us when to come back. I felt really good about it, and I should have stuck my guns. But no, of course not. I drove all the way to Delaware to buy a dress at this one boutique that everyone ranted and raved about. You guys, they had such amazing reviews. We try on the dress. My daughter falls in love with this dress. Somehow, and you guys, like, I'm not a dummy. When it comes to makeup, when it comes to hair, when it comes to fashion, I'm not somebody who usually falls for these types of things. But somehow my daughter is 4'11" and she weighs 85 pounds. I know, looking at my big ass, you probably are wondering how my daughter is so tiny. Well, her father was always very, very slim, and his side of the family is tiny. Now, she gets the shortness from a lot of my Hungarian side of the family, but her tininess, it has to come from him, because us women in this side, on the Hungarian side, and on my Irish side, are not tiny women. We are very curvy women. Whatever. It doesn't even matter. Somehow I let this girl convince me that I could buy a size 4 dress and have it sized down to a 00. And like, I was so excited to have found the dress, and I don't want to say she lied, because I don't want to ever accuse anyone of anything, but she said they had a seamstress in store weekly that I could come have the dress. And I should have known when she told me this, that she was kind of she was so busy. She was upset because she was double booked. We were trying to be very compliant. She didn't help us pick out dresses. The only thing she did was zip the dresses. That's the only thing she asked us to do, is let her zip the dresses, I guess, so nothing got broken. She never picked out the dresses, or we would point to what we wanted and she would try to find the size. Number one, I should have known there was an issue when another customer was complaining because she was also a 00 and they kept trying to put her in a size 4. And then when I checked out, I should have known even more of an issue when the cashier was making fun of the girl and saying, what the hell does she think? That we have 00s all over the place? She's like, look at you, you're buying a 4 and you belong in a 00. I swear on my mother, who has passed on, that that's what the woman said to me. And I should have known then. I should have politely said no, but I was everything happened so quickly that I didn't have time to even think. And usually my husband's with me to kind of like be like, no, this isn't right. And oh my God, I'm so upset with myself. So the girl tells me she used to do pageants. She bought a $10,000 gown in a size 10 and they took it down to a 00. Now this girl was stunning. She was beautiful. There is no chance that I believe that she is very possible she has done pageants. That is not in question here. She was stunning, but there's no way she was ever a 00. This girl was probably a size 6. Not that there's anything wrong with that. She was stunning, but she had a very curvy, beautiful body, and she was never a 00 and she was young, maybe 20. So, I mean, unless she was 12 when she did the pageant, you know what I mean? Which is possible. So I believed her when she told me we could alter this dress. I should have known better because the entire back of the dress is mesh, bone, and nothing but rhinestones. So I buy the fucking dress like an asshole, excuse my language, because I could kick myself in the ass for it. And I am thrilled. We leave, never looked into any of the policies. Should have known when that lady said that to me before I checked out that there was an issue. Never looked at the return policies, but there was a no return, no exchange, final sale policy on all dresses, which I should have absolutely just walked away then. But I didn't because I'm a fool. And I asked her, I said, could you please look on the computer and see if this dress can be ordered and sized down? Can we order it? I'll pick it up. I'll drive back to Delaware, whatever. She told me there's no way to have the dress sent. It is only in that size. That's it. So I bought the dress. We take it to a local, highly recommended seamstress. She tells me she can't alter the top of the dress, that it's almost impossible. And this woman is no, I don't want this to sound like this is not to be racist or anything. She was I would assume almost 80 years old, little Asian woman who's probably been doing this since she was younger than my daughter. And I'm not saying that to be racist. I just mean she knew what the fuck she was talking about. Excuse my language again. She knew what she was talking about. She has probably been doing this forever. And it wasn't her fault by any means, but she said, I absolutely cannot alter the top of this. And she had like really great reviews. And then a customer came in and said, she's the best. We love her. So I like automatically was like, oh man, we are effed without a paddle. So she's like, listen, go to Joann's and buy sew-in bra, and I'll try my best to make the top fit better. My daughter is a 000 or 00, trying here to fit in a 4. I should have said no. I was whispering to my husband. I was whispering to him then. I'm like, let's not alter the dress. I'll sell it. He's like, just get it altered. I'm like, I don't want to, please. I don't want. And I was like having a panic attack. But against my better judgment, I got the dress altered. I don't understand why this woman came so highly recommended, because boy, she really was careless when the gems on, there's so many gems missing. I'm going to have to get fabric glue and fix it so I did list the dress and I wrote all the problems. It's on my Depop and it's on my Poshmark. I don't know if it's going to sell and on Facebook Market. Obviously, I can't sell the dress for what I got it for because it's hemmed for a 5-foot person and it's a size 4. I'm hoping somebody, but my husband said, you know what, we're very fortunate people. Maybe we should try to donate it. I just don't know what to do with this extra dress. When we got it back, I don't know what happened, but there's so many of the gems, like they're not sequins, they're actual rhinestones missing. I mean, and it's noticeable. The hem was beautiful and the sewing was nice, but she really, if my daughter had to wear that dress, I would have been heartbroken because they think we counted about 20 gems off the dress, which is careless. It's just carelessness. And she should have kept them and at least gave them to me to glue back on the dress. So then she comes home with, my husband picks the dress up. We pay $85 for the alterations. She puts the dress on and I look at my husband and I say, there's no way she can wear this. And listen, you guys, my sisters, when I first took custody of my sisters, I didn't have a pot to piss in. I was lucky if I had $20 at the end of the week. My husband and I really, really have come from nothing. I used to be on food stamps, and thank God for it because I couldn't have fed my family without them. I never had to get cash assistance because we tried really hard not to ever have to do that. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just another ball game that I wasn't really wanting to be involved in. And I understand that there are people that desperately need it, but we utilized food banks. So I'm not someone who's come from anything. And if it wasn't for a lot of the programs out there for like utility allowances, programs from the electric company that I was allowed to be put on, donations, I was on a utility allowance where they paid a portion of it and I was responsible for the other half, things like that. I don't know how I would have survived my early 20s. And if it wasn't for the help of some of my family at the time. So it's not like we've always been fortunate. We struggled for probably the very, very long beginning of our marriage. We were so young, getting married, too young. I was 18, he was 21. We were kids. It is what it is, but I take a very hard hit when something is an expensive financial purchase and I mess up bad. I get very hard on myself because the idea of wasting money, the idea of wasting food, anything like that really comes hard on me. And my husband and I tried to give back last year, and this year we donate turkeys when we go for shopping. We donate the cards, like when you can donate $25 to families. I try to do anything to be grateful, but when I make a bad decision like this, which it doesn't happen often, I get so upset and I get buyer's remorse, and I deserve to treat myself or to make sure my daughter, like, it's not that, like, we work really hard to get where we are, but I just take things very difficult and hard. And like when my sisters were dress shopping, my one sister got to buy a retail dress, like off the rack. My one sister got a thrifted dress. My other sister borrowed a dress, then she got to buy a dress, like, so, because we had started to get a little more money. So it's like, I've never experienced this, and I just feel like I made a big mistake in this whole situation. And next year, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do different. So we're looking at dresses online. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try maybe one of those payment plans where I just find a dress and pay it off in the next couple of weeks, just so it doesn't feel like such a huge loss. And I know some people are going to be like, hey, that's still debt. If you didn't have, you shouldn't buy it if you don't have it. And I get it. And some people are going to agree with me, like, it just doesn't feel like such a big hit. So we're looking through dresses. I am devastated. I already have had the shittiest day. I have a gas stove. My washing machine still stinks so bad. I don't know what to do with it. I have bleached it. I have done everything I can think of. I can't get the smell out of my washer. Then I was like, you know what? I'm going to deep clean the house. I was stressed because I knew we had to pick up the dress that night. So I was like, let me clean the house. It will take my mind off of it. I start to spray my stove like I always have, not thinking, and it starts to click. Like this loud clicking, and it's looking like it's going to spark. Thank you, God, that I have one of the most incredible neighbors. He is a retired police officer and a retired military, so he's used to dealing with wacky people, I'm sure, like me, who are very much over the top. He came right over, shut my gas off, and he was like, this happened to me the other day. He's like, the same thing happened. He's like, I promise you it's going to be okay. He stayed with me till the clicking stopped, until I knew I wasn't going to blow up my house. So I was already kind of like upset. And then the dress came. I knew she couldn't wear it. And then I have this corduroy top that I got from Boohoo. I bought it 3 years ago. I think I have a video on it. It's my favorite. And I hate corduroy, you guys. I have a really bad experience with corduroy. I don't even want to get into it. I know the people are like, what the hell do you mean a bad experience with corduroy? This is my eyes for right now. I hope they look pretty on the camera. I'm going to blend it a little more, but I'm going to get my face on or we're going to be here forever because, of course, you know, if you've watched me, I can talk. Okay, so I just, something with corduroy that happened to me as a kid. Let's save that for another day. So I'm cooking dinner. We're looking for a dress online. I don't cry, you guys. Like, I'm not a crier. I want to cry sometimes, trust me, but I try not to. I don't know if that's like a trauma thing. I don't know, you guys. I am a screwed up person, let me tell you. But I don't like to cry, okay? I didn't even cry when my mother died. I think I was in such a state of shock. And I'm sure I looked absolutely feral, being the only one there who was like stone-faced, pissed. Maybe that's why I didn't cry. I don't remember ever, I don't think even to this day, I really remember ever crying about my mother. And I know somebody's going to be like, you are just, I don't know how to explain it. I just don't cry often. So I'm making dinner and my favorite shirt, I lean over. Why I did it? Because I knew it. Something in my gut said, you're going to set your shirt on fire. Don't do it. But I did it the hell anyway. I reached up in the cabinet to get my hand mixer to make mashed potatoes for dinner, and I set my shirt on fire, and that was the last straw. I'm screaming. My husband's on the phone. Well, I didn't start screaming. Actually, I just looked at my husband. I said, my shirt's on fire. He was on the phone. Luckily, I just was standing there with my shirt on fire, the entire bottom of it, and he came over and stuck it underwater, and he was on the phone. So of course I started to get mad, and I was like, if you weren't always on the damn phone, you know, my usual shit. When we get upset, you know, we all do it. We just yell. And I just started to kind of like get emotional and cry. I think I was so defeated and upset for my daughter because I just never want, I try to keep my emotions very regulated around my daughter. And I'm going to tell you why, because my mother never did. And my worst fear is my daughter having to heal in her adult life because I couldn't control my emotions or because I wasn't stable. So I try not to really, I'm not saying she never gets yelled at or she doesn't ever get in trouble, but I try very hard to control my emotions because it's not her fault. But at that point, I just couldn't, and I started to just cry and get upset. I came upstairs, I had to walk away from dinner and change, and took a minute, and of course when I came down, she was crying, and not her like teenage crocodile tears, these were real. So I knew I needed to like knock it off immediately because this was not her fault that I, you know, she's a kid. I'm the one who should have been like, hey, we're not buying this dress, you know what I mean? And I know some people in here are going to be like, you know, this is a first world issue, but it's just an issue that I'm having right now that I'm upset about. And I shouldn't even have to explain that. We should be allowed to be upset, you know what I mean? And not feel guilty about it. So I calmed down, I went on, and I was like, you know what? Instead of sitting here, because this dress was her dream dress, I said, instead of sitting here like idiots, let me just look this dress up. Let me just type the serial number, whatever comes with it. I was like, let me just try to find the dress. So I typed the name of the dress in. It's Fabian. It's literally the first dress that comes up on the website. And you guys, let me blend this and I'll be right back. Okay, friends, so I just wanted to get the rest of my face on. So I just powdered and blushed. So we weren't here forever. Of course, my eye is watering like it loves to do on me and make me absolutely insane. So let's finish up with this saga so I can finish and tell you some other things. So needless to say, I found the dress on the website and I got a 00. Dress was shipped here in 3 days and it fits her like a glove and she looks beautiful. And it doesn't sit right with me that the girl lied and told me she couldn't find the dress online. I don't know if she lied, you guys. I don't want to say that. I just feel very duped by everyone and upset. But I have 2 of the same dresses. And this one fits her beautifully. And I want my daughter to have everything I never got the opportunity to have or do. I'll pop in a picture. Her boyfriend asked her and gave her the most gorgeous rose garden roses I've ever seen. My daughter is healthy. I get to put her to bed every single night. And this is not bragging. This is just me affirming, like, my daughter is healthy. I get to put her in bed every night. She does cheerleading. She does golf. She's smart. She's on her way to college. So I have way more to be grateful for than to have one bad day and a couple bad events really upset me too much. But I just wanted to tell somebody, because it's like my grandmother, I'm in my pajama shirt, I'm sorry. My grandmother, you know, she's very good to me, but she just like kind of made me feel really bad about this situation. But that's like, she's 76-year-old. I think it's like a boomer thing, telling me that I should have listened, I should have taken her, how could I be stupid? And it just made it worse. And I know she doesn't mean it, but they just have very little tact at that age and that generation, sort of. And I felt myself like I shut down. I didn't want to talk about the dress to her. I got so upset. I already felt stupid, you guys, for allowing myself to be, because like I said, I know a lot about these things. Like, I would never let anybody do my makeup or my daughter's makeup or just things like I should know about. But you know what? My daughter's going to look beautiful, and that's all that matters. I'm just still struggling with being $1,000 in on this dress and just feeling upset. And the moral of the story is, you guys, I know a lot of us aren't confrontational people because of things that have happened or just not in our nature. But we have to be, not like in a mean way or a bad way. We just have to stand up for ourselves. We cannot allow these things to happen. You are allowed to say no. And guys, I've had an amazing year already and things have been going great. This is just a little setback, and that's okay. Everything's going to work itself out. So let's move on to some things that aren't so stressful. Let's see. I ended up watching One Day on Netflix, I think. You guys, it was so good. I'm not understanding some of the hate around Dexter's character, so I don't want to spoil anything for you. And I'm gonna try really hard not to. But I feel like in order to fall in love, he wasn't ready yet. Maybe even she wasn't ready. He knew when they finally fell in love, it was time. You know what I mean? I think when people say he only used her, you guys, I don't believe that. Because if you watch it, anything that happened, he wanted her there. He wanted her only. It was such a good show. The guy that plays Dexter is so gorgeous. I don't know why. And I'm not really into blondes, even though my husband is literally a blonde. But he is, maybe I do like blondes more than I think. That guy, because I love Luke Grimes, to me is the most, sorry husband, to my husband, he knows this though. And I don't usually talk about other men or celebrities, but Luke Grimes is one of the most gorgeous men I've ever seen in my whole life. But the guy that plays Dexter is so handsome. So handsome. And the woman that plays Emma, you guys, couldn't be more perfect. She is stunning. I think she's Indian. From India, or she's Hindu. Is that the same thing? Oh my God. To me, she was perfect. She was so, I hope you can see me. She was so beautiful. Indian women from India are so fucking gorgeous. There's this woman, hold on, let me do this wing. Okay, I'm sorry, you guys, I cannot talk and do those wings. They are not perfect. My makeup looks like shit, you guys. I hate with a fiery passion. I keep trying to use it because I miss my 24-hour one. This 30-hour one from Maybelline, bring back the 24-hour one. This is disgusting. It looks so bad. I don't know why I keep trying to use it. I keep trying, but it looks like cement. And my liner is not perfect. So there's this woman, she and her husband are from India, and they are so sweet. I believe they're Hindu, and they literally let my grandmother's Christian group come in and pray for them because, you know, everyone can use a little extra prayer. They are so kind because they could say, hey, you know, this isn't our religion. No, but they are so sweet. And I don't think she realizes how beautiful she is. Her eyebrows are the fullest, most thickest, beautiful eyebrows. And she has these full lips. I know this is weird, but she's so gorgeous. And her skin tone, oh my God, she has the most beautiful skin. She is stunning. And then I just thought to myself, like, I never realized how stunning women from India are. They are literally some of the most beautiful women in the world. And I think the girl who plays Emma is so gorgeous. You guys, I love her quirkiness. I love how she's kind of so opposite and nerdy. But, like, I feel like that's what works. Like, that's sort of like my husband and I. I'm kind of like the Emma. I'm kind of quirky and weird. And very much, I don't know, just different than my husband, who's much more cool and outgoing and people love him. And I'm kind of like my nose in a book, you know. But that's okay. That's why we work so well. So I watched that. Highly recommend. I'm not going to give you any spoilers in case you haven't seen it. It's so good. And if you have seen it, let me know what you think in the comments. But make sure you write spoiler if you write any spoilers, please, so you don't spoil it for anyone. But let me know what you think. And let me, yeah, I loved her boyfriend Ian, but I really think that's what his name was. But I love Dex. I'm sorry, I do. I think he was just the best girl dad, the best, I don't know. I feel like some of the scenes were very hard to get through. Then I watched, okay, so this might be a little millennial core for anybody who's a little bit younger than me. Okay, so I feel like 90s comedy, and let me know what you think, has a very particular niche. Like, you have to, like, okay, for example, like Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura, things like that. It is a particular niche. Like, some of my daughters don't get it, really. They don't see the humor. Like, to me, Dumb and Dumber, like Liar Liar, but Dumb and Dumber has, okay, if you don't know, I'm like a Jim Carrey fan, obviously, but it's like comedic genius to me. And I know some people are going to be like, you are out of your mind, and that's okay. We don't have to agree, but I am right. So I feel like it's a very, like, early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. If you're not that age, you're not going to ever get it. And oh gosh, somebody is going to really be upset with me for being a movie buff, but I never sat through Napoleon Dynamite before. I know. Now, some people, if you're done listening to me, that's fine, but I'm almost finished my makeup anyway. We're going to do my mascara. So I sat down to watch it because my husband insisted. It was funny, you guys. That is my type of humor. I guess it's millennial core. I don't know. But I also work for the last 7 years with somebody who is high functioning. Well, I don't know if he's like in the middle. I don't know exactly like what the functionings of autism is. Like, my husband's best friend's son is nonverbal, and he's on medication for his autism. So I know there's different types, and then there's like on the cusp of it, then there's Asperger's, but Donald has autism. Like, you know, as I've worked with him over the years, I can spot somebody with autism a mile away. It's an incredible thing. They have such incredible mannerisms about themselves that makes me like, know someone has autism. And this is not in a mean way. I just know. I don't know how to explain it unless you do it. Either you have someone who in your life that has autism, you have autism yourself, or you work with them, whatever the case is, you just know. And like, the guy from Napoleon Dynamite who plays Napoleon in that character reminds me so much of Donald, and I think that's why I loved it so much. Oh my god, you guys. That is exactly like what people with autism are like. They have no filter. They say whatever they want a lot of times if they're verbal. And they can be very funny. They really can. And they do things like, I took Donald for his yearly exam right in the beginning of the year. If you don't like flatulence, you might be upset. But he farted so loudly before the doctor came in, and I kind of got a little upset. Not like mad or anything, but just a little embarrassed. I'm like, listen, I know you couldn't help it, but please, you can't do that. And he's like, it's better out than in. He's like, what? I couldn't help it. I had to get it out. And of course I calmed down and we were laughing, but then he got very upset because I kind of was upset at first, but of course the situation calmed itself down. But they very much don't have a filter. But the Napoleon Dynamite was so funny this weekend. I really liked it. So I watched that this weekend. And we're on season 4 of The Sopranos, you guys. I don't know why I waited so long to watch it. It's one of my favorite, slowly my favorite show. There's something about Tony Soprano that I would love to marry him. I know he's deceased, but I love him so much. My daughter's boyfriend's Italian. He looks like a little Guido. He's so cute, you guys. I love this kid. He's just so good to her. His parents really raised him right, you guys. He's a nice kid, man. I know he's a teenager. Like, I'm not saying he's perfect. Like, he skipped class the other day to meet her and got in trouble. And I felt bad because he ended up grounded. I'm like, don't let him do that again. But, like, if that's the worst that they're doing, you guys, you know what I mean? Like, I know we shouldn't have. And I'm sure his mother wasn't thrilled, but she loves Brooke. And, like, that's my biggest fear is, like, my daughters meeting someone and be loving their son and them not treating her right. But she really likes my daughter. But she has no daughter. She has all sons. So I think that helps. He also has an autistic brother, which is so sweet because he is so good to his brother. It could make you cry, you guys. So yeah, I watched Napoleon. We're only on season 4. We just started, so no spoilers for The Sopranos, you guys. Oh, this weekend we drove. It was raining so bad, you guys, or I would have video recorded it. We drove to North Jersey to where the Bada Bing was and to Tony Soprano's house. You guys, the house is stunning. It looks exactly the same on the outside. We didn't stay because, of course, the weather was so bad. But that's another incredible thing. The places they show, we live so close to it. It's incredible. And when they did the pine bearing episode in the end of season 3, you guys, I was laughing my ass off because I've spent so much time in Atlantic City in my life. It's incredible to watch a show from New Jersey when you're from those areas. My aunt, my great-grandmother, my grandfather, his whole family, when they immigrated from Hungary, is that how you would say it? Immigrated over here, they ended up in New Brunswick. And my grandfather, he's, I think, second generation, first generation, I don't know, from Hungary. And we are not Hungary, Jesus Christ. We are Hungarian and Windish. My great-grandmother was Windish. My great-grandfather was Hungarian. Why is this so hard to say? And my great-grandmother lived till she was 103 and was vital. I mean, she wasn't super, super active, but she did everything. She traveled. She never drove a day in her life. Isn't that incredible? But she did live close to New York City in New Brunswick. They live right by Rutgers campus. So I've been in North Jersey my whole life because it's my grandfather's mother. And he joined the Coast Guard. Oh, Jesus, I just made a mess. He joined the Coast Guard right before Vietnam. My grandfather did, and he met my grandmother at the USO. Is that what it was called back then? USO. She was helping, and they married, and he moved to South Jersey with her because that's where my grandmother was from. But my whole family's up from where Tony Soprano is from. My family's alumni for Rutgers, and I believe the Jackie Jr. was supposed to be in Rutgers. My family are alumni there. My cousin is a councilwoman. I can't remember exactly what. I just made such a mess. You guys, I don't know what's going on with this makeup today. Okay, you guys, so I am sorry I did not end my get ready with me this morning. All of a sudden, I noticed from that foundation, all of this was missing. It was like breaking down for some reason. So I ended up having to wipe off the entire bottom half of my foundation, and I just went in with the It Cosmetics. Today is not a good makeup day. I noticed that my forehead looks muddy. Thank God I'm not going anywhere. It just wasn't a good makeup day, but I wanted to end my get ready with me, and now I'm gonna go film a quick and easy dinner. I thought we would make dinner together, which I know some people really love, and that's how they found my channel years ago. So I'm gonna film a quick, easy dinner recipe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.